What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rockling Road Show. It's Alvie. Oh, he's not here. The 1-3 is hopefully going to be joining us here in a little bit. He had some motorcycle problems. He broke down on the side of the road, and he is in the process of getting towed, getting the bike back to the house, figuring out what happened. So he's supposed to get in here shortly. We will see what happens. We're going to try and bring him in onto the show via Skype, and we'll go from there. So you guys get to hear and listen to me talk, my beautiful face for you guys all. The background's a little off because everything, it's like it's 2020, right? Usually we say the Rockling Road Show brought to you by technical difficulties. However, today the Rockling Road Show brought to you by 2020. I'm just going to say it that way. We have an event coming up next weekend. We're supposed to be up in St. Augustine, up at Adamak Harley Davidson in St. Augustine. So we started moving stuff to the 1-3's house in preparation for that. So the 1-3's got the backdrop that I usually use when I'm at Casa Alvie, which is where I'm at right now. So that's why we don't have the background. So you guys get to see my blank wall and my base over here. So anyhow. All right, so what we're going to get into this show tonight. Couple of good topics tonight. Going to have some fun with it. And then hopefully at some point in time tonight, we get the 1-3 join us, and we'll go from there. If he doesn't join us, then no biggie. You guys get me, and we'll have some fun anyway. So like always, comment. Let me know you guys are here. Let me know you guys can hear me, all that stuff. And we'll pay some bills, and we'll get rocking and rolling. So as always, we're brought to you by Misfit Metalworks. Misfit Metalworks offers CNC plasma cutting, metal welding, metal fabrication, as well as prototyping services and laser engraving. Contact the Misfits for all your metal needs at 813-598-7409, or you can stop by the shop at 1913 East Bears Avenue, Unit 1100B in Tampa, Florida, 33613. And, of course, let them know the Rockling Road Show sent you. Hey, Garth, thanks for joining, brother. Welcome aboard. Also, we are brought to you by Eric Warren Artistry and Dropkick Customs. Eric Warren Artistry is a custom paint and fabrication studio that specializes in turning all your custom dreams into a reality. EWA offers a one-stop shop for all your paint, metal fiberglass needs, welding, full powder coating, motorcycle stereo equipment, air ride systems, custom wheels, parts development with their new Epic line of Dropkick Customs. You can contact Eric Warren Artistry at 813-503-4764. Or you can stop by the shop at 13215 North Nebraska Avenue, Suite A. That's in Tampa, Florida, 33612. And, of course, let them know that we sent you. What up, HD? No worries. You're never late, brother. I keep telling you that. You're on time. You're always on time, man. And then lastly, we are brought to you by the Fran Hosh Law Group. The Fran Hosh Law Group provides legal representation for victims of negligence. They handle a broad range of personal injury and wrongful death matters, including car and truck accidents, motorcycle collisions, slip and fall injuries, and much more. For all your legal needs, please contact the Fran Hosh Law Group at 866-LAW-FRAN or lawfran.com, or you can stop by their offices at 1275 Nebraska Avenue, and that's in Palm Harbor, Florida, 34683. Connie, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, and Kip's saying, I swear the walls aren't bare, just nothing behind you. No, the wall is not bare. I got a great picture right above my head. It's just the way the camera's set. It makes it look like there's nothing in my room. So, where was I getting at? HD, I did just receive a notification that the stuff that I got you is being sent out. So when I get off here, I'll PM you the tracking information so you can see when you'll get your stuff. This is one of the new shirts that we're going to be selling for all you guys. So this came in the other day. It's good quality. I like it. So we're gonna start selling it. So be on the lookout for that. We'll make some links for everybody, and you guys can go check out some of the other stuff that we got in the store. HD, you got some cool stuff coming to you, man. Hopefully you enjoy it. And like I said, sorry it took us so long to get it to you, but I've had a hell of a week, hell of a month, and now that all the store stuff kind of fell into place. I figured, you know what? Let me just send him some cool stuff that we've got lined up, and we'll go from there. So what I do want you to do though is when you do get that HD, please do us a favor, take a picture of it and tag it, hashtag Rockling Road Show. Just put it on your Facebook feed so we can see it, and then just let us know what you think. Because if, like I said, this came in the other day, I was really pleased with it. So as the samples start coming in, we're going to kind of dial in what we're gonna offer on the store. We don't want anything on there that's garbage, basically. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you have, or let us know if it's any good. Really, it's basically what it comes down to. All right, so hey Dale, what's up, man? Welcome back from your awesome trip in India. It looks like you guys had a hell of a time up there, man. It looked fun. All right, so we're gonna jump right into all of the stuff. I got too many mouse and keys over here. It's killing me. Awesome, AC. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. All right, so we're going to jump into the first topic today, and I think this is we're going to go to our music section, our music ties, and of course, we're going to talk about Mr. Eddie Van Halen. I was actually down in Marathon Tuesday for work, and was watching the news in the morning, and this came across the ticker. And I you know what? Let me rewind that. Actually, that's not true. I was sitting in my room, and Kim texted me and asked me if I had heard that Eddie Van Halen had passed away. And I was like, no, what the hell? I had no idea. While I'm talking, I'm going to play some stuff in the background here. Just let me know if that's too loud and you guys can't hear me, but I just little Eddie Van Halen in the background there for this section. So yeah, unfortunately, the music world lost an absolute legend, really. A virtuoso on the guitar. The man was incredible, and here we are, 2020, man. It's been one of those years, and here we are talking about yet another icon in the music industry that has been taken away from us way too soon. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of run through a little bit about Eddie Van Halen, what he was, how he came to be, and I'll kind of talk about some things, personal things with how I got into Van Halen and all that stuff. And by all means, guys, please comment on it as well. Let me know how you guys were introduced to Van Halen and your thoughts on Eddie's passing. So with that, Eddie was born Edward Ludwig Van Halen in Amsterdam, Netherlands, on January 26, 1955. In 1962, the Van Halen family moved from the Netherlands to the U.S. and they settled down in Pasadena, California. Growing up, Eddie and his older brother Alex learned to play piano. His dad was a pianist, a clarinetist, a saxophonist. He was in an orchestra, all that stuff. So they kind of grew up in a music household, and they grew up playing the piano. And over the years, Eddie realized that he liked rock and roll. He liked, he didn't like the whole Bach and Mozart and things like that. So he started branching out. He started playing other instruments to play. Ironically, the funny part is that Alex actually started playing the guitar, and Eddie bought a drum kit, and he started playing drums, and they started a band back when they were in elementary school. And what ended up happening, the way the stars align, I guess you want to call it, or however you want to say it, Eddie heard Alex play the drum solo from Wipeout, and Eddie knew that he was like, there's no way I can compete with this kid. So he basically told Alex, here, take the drums, you're better at this than I am. And he started learning how to play guitar. And it's just, I found that funny that they actually started playing the opposite way. So it was just interesting. So as I was saying, Eddie and Alex, they formed their first band with 3 other boys. They called themselves the Broken Cones. They performed at lunchtime at the Hamilton Elementary School in Pasadena. They were in the 4th grade when they did it. He would later go on to say that that was the first time that he felt he knew what he wanted to do, that he was going to become a professional musician. Fast forward a little bit, Eddie and Alex, they formed a band called Genesis in 1972 with a bassist by the name of Mark Stone and the ever the crazy man, the front man, David Lee Roth. Obviously, a band by the name of Genesis isn't going to work because there was already a band called Genesis, so they had to change their name. So 2 years later, they replaced Stone as the bassist, and they brought in Michael Anthony, and they changed the name of their band to just Van Halen. And as they would say, the rest is history. And the cool part is their first tour, they opened for 2 small little bands called Journey and Montrose. So go figure, right? Another thing I thought was interesting when I was reading up on these guys is they actually autocorrect is not a Rock Legend fan. You gotta let me know what you mean by that, Cam. I don't understand that one. So the interesting part was Gene Simmons actually helped Van Halen do their demo albums. And then Kiss went on tour, and he basically was like, I'll help you guys get there. And in the process, they started just hitting the local scene and excuse me, they just hit the local scene and they blew up and everybody loved them. So I don't know. I guess I must have missed a post there, but I'm still lost here. Okay. So upon its release, the first album from the band Van Halen reached number 19 on the Billboard charts. It became one of rock's most commercially successful debuts. By the early 1980s, Van Halen was one of the most successful rock acts of all time. The album 1984 went 5 times platinum a year after its release. The lead single "Jump" became the band's first and only #1 hit, and it garnered a Grammy nomination. The band won the 1992 Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance with vocals for the album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And then in 2019, the band ranked 20th in the RIAA list of best-selling artists with 56 million albums sold in the U.S. and more than 80 million worldwide. VH1 has ranked them number 7 on the top 100 hard rock artists of all time. And then in 2007, Van Halen was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Eddie received acclaim for his guitar work in the band. So that's just kind of a condensed version of the history of Van Halen. We all know that Van Halen has had. Hey, Valerie, thanks for joining. We all know Van Halen had. They went between lead singers all the time. David Lee Roth ended up leaving. They brought in Sammy Hagar. They played with Sammy for a long time, and then Sammy left, and Dave came back, and they just kind of went back and forth. There was a lot of bad blood, in the younger days and everything else. So, but I mean, really, just one of the most iconic rock and roll bands ever. Really, it's funny. We sat here a few months ago and we talked about Neil Peart and the icon that he was and the amazing rock band that he played drums for with Rush. It's just sad we're here discussing something else like this. The interesting part about Eddie too was Eddie wasn't just the guitarist for Van Halen. Eddie reached out and he had several outside projects that he got involved in. Most notably, he played on the soundtracks of the movie The Wildlife, as well as Twister. And and he did a bunch of musical collaborations. But most notably, he played guitar on "Beat It" from Michael Jackson, and we all know Michael Jackson's "Beat It" went on to critical acclaim and made won a bunch of awards. And I mean that solo from "Beat It" is just, everybody knows that song. Everybody has heard that song. I love that guitar solo in "Beat It." It's just amazing. It's unreal. Some little factoids about "Beat It." While they were recording Eddie's solo for that song, the sound that he was making with his guitar actually caused the monitor speaker in the control room to catch fire. And one of the all the sound engineers were shocked, and one of them even said, "Damn, this is really good," or "It must be really good." Which, yeah, I mean, go figure, right? That they. Oh, I see what you guys are. Right? Yeah. I see Van Halen. I see what you're saying. Here, finally, I finally realized what you guys are saying. Yeah, autocorrect's a son of a bitch, right? There we go. All right, now it's fixed. That's what happens when you don't proofread, right? Yeah. So, like I was saying, when they were recording the song, the monitor in the studio caught fire. Which is just crazy. Rolling Stone ranked "Beat It" the number 344 on a list of 500 greatest songs of all time. It was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as 500 songs that have shaped rock and roll, and the song was ranked number 81 on Rolling Stone's 100 greatest guitar songs of all time. Eddie had some health problems, man. Eddie, he was a rock star, right? he did a lot of drugs. He was into alcohol. He had a bunch of issues with those, as most of those guys, I think, end up doing. But his real health problems began in about 2000. He actually started receiving treatment for tongue cancer in 2000. And I didn't know this, but he actually had about a third of his tongue removed because of that. An interesting little fact that he threw in, he said he blamed the tongue cancer on the habit of holding picks in his guitar picks in his mouth. He used to use metal picks, and he said that they were brass and copper, and he always just leave them in his mouth. The exact place where he got the tongue cancer. He said he was smoking, doing a lot of drugs and a lot of everything, but at the same time, my lungs are totally clear. This is just my own theory, but the doctors say it's possible. So I can relate. I can relate as a quasi guitar player. I don't use metal picks. I use plastic picks, but I was always putting them in my mouth. So I can kind of get where that's going from, and it's interesting that it's something that the doctors were like, hey, it's absolutely possible. But it was 2014. Eddie was diagnosed with throat cancer, and he was hospitalized back in 2019. And then, of course, unfortunately, he succumbed to the battle that he was, to the battle of throat cancer at St. John's Health Center of Santa Monica, California, Tuesday, October 6th, 2020. He was only 65 years old. A lot of times, man, it was said, Garth saying, an amazing talent with fingers that would just fly across the fretboard. I would have loved to see in concert. I completely agree with you there, brother. 100%. I'd heard stories from multiple people. I tried looking it up, and there were a couple people that said it was true. Some said it wasn't. But early on, the rumors were that Eddie he would play guitar with his back to the crowd because he didn't want people seeing how he played. He didn't want people to copy him or to steal any of his riffs or all the things that he would do. Eddie is actually credited for 3 different patents, all related to guitars, but one of them was a deal that he could flip his guitar so it was flat, and he would actually play it like it was a piano. So it would be flat, and he, kind of like a steel guitar. And that was one of the patents that he had. But I mean, the guy thought outside of the box when it came to playing the guitar. You look back at some of these great guitar players, Steve Vai, and I just lost it. I'll think of it here in a second. But Steve Vai is the first one that comes to my head. These guys were just. Jimi Hendrix was the one I was thinking of. Steve Vai, Jimi Hendrix, and Eddie Van Halen, and Eric Clapton, and all these guys, man. They're just on a completely different level. You've got guys that play guitar, and then you've got guys that are the guitar, and that's the way Eddie was. He and I brought up Eric Clapton, but he listed Eric Clapton as one of his main influences. As a kid, he said that he would go through hours and hours of Cream, and he would learn every single guitar riff that Clapton would play, and he would do them note for note for note for note until he had them all perfectly memorized and perfectly done. So. But yeah, he said Eric Clapton was one of his main influences, but he related more to Jimmy Page because he felt like it was more of how he was, and quote, he says it was more of a reckless, abandoned kind of way. And then I'll leave the story tonight about Eddie with this. He was speaking at an event at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History in 2015. He was discussing his life, the American dream, and everything else. And he says, quote, talking about his family, we came here with approximately $50 and a piano. We didn't speak the language, and now look where we are. If that's not the American dream, I don't know what is. And I mean, what more can you say? $50 and a piano, and he's, a rock legend, Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Billboard chart, top 100 songs, top 100 guitar players. I mean, just, the list and the accolades just go on and on and on and on and on. So I found that sweet, just a really thoughtful statement, and I always, kind of looking at the world we live in today and the country that we live in today. This is exactly what this country is about. It's about the American dream. It's about people coming here who don't have anything and can become anything they want. You're your only limit. You're the only person that's stopping you from getting what you want, basically. So I just found that sweet, and just something that we could all relate to, really. So anyhow, Eddie Van Halen died. Eddie Van Halen dead October 6th, 2020, at the age of 65. So R.I.P. Eddie. Thoughts and prayers out to the Van Halen family, to the band, to the fans out there. We all feel this loss. Eddie was I can remember as a kid, man. I got onto Van Halen a little bit later. I was born in the late 70s, early 80s, so I didn't kind of catch into Van Halen until like the 80s. So my memories of Van Halen are Jump and Panama and Hot for Teacher and that kind of that era of Van Halen. The old joke from Joe Dirt, I like Van Halen, not Van Hagar. I liked them both. I think they're obviously very different bands. Hey Matt, what's going on, brother? Obviously very different bands. With different frontmen, but they both had such great tunes, man. I was a fan of both Van Halen and Van Hagar, but I think you can't. I don't think you could ever equal the energy that Van Halen as a group had with David Lee Roth as their frontman. That was, I remember, the jump video is just a great example of that energy. You see how much fun those guys were having, in that, because that video is just basically a live concert. So, uh, but those are my memories of Van Halen. That's just, and then the the Hot for Teacher song, man. The opening of that song where Alex is just on the double bass, just meant to sound like a guitar. I'm sorry, meant to sound like a motorcycle engine. Um, it's one of the few songs in the history of music where the song opens with a drum solo, and then from the drum solo to an instrumental before the lyrics start. I mean, it's just those guys were something else, man. And to come full circle to the show and everything else, um, they were motorcycle guys, man. Eddie had several motorcycles. He had an old I think it was an '81 Softail that he had painted like the Van Halen album, the red and the white kind of crazy design. Um, he had several bikes, but I found a picture. I tried to put it, get it for the show, but as I blew it up to put it on the screen, it wasn't a very good. It wasn't good quality, so it got all pixelated. But it was a picture of Eddie and Alec back in the day when they were kids. I mean, they were teenagers, but they were riding motocross. So I mean, they both everybody. David Lee Roth obviously is a huge motorcycle guy, but they were big time into motorcycles. So yeah, man. Hey, what's going on, Matt? Thanks for joining, buddy. So yeah, I mean, just a sad day in the music world, man. Here we are again talking about a legend leaving the earth. So yeah, man. If you guys have any cool stories or any thoughts, not necessarily thoughts, but any what you guys how you guys were introduced to Van Halen and what you guys thought of that band. I'd love to hear it. We'll kind of move on. I'll jump into the next story so we don't stick around too long. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on Van Halen and especially on Eddie. So, all right. So with that, rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. All right. So let's jump to the next thing we're going to talk about. Next thing I wanted to talk about tonight was just a few days ago, a electric motorcycle broke the world record for a drag run. It was a Danish team by the name of True Cousins. They actually aren't new to the motorcycle or the electric motorcycle racing world. They hit the scene about 12 years ago, and they had a 12 kilowatt custom built electric motorcycle that they kind of jumped into the foray, so to speak. They have since, in 12 years, they've figured it out. They've done some great innovation and whatnot, and they were able to build a 1.2 megawatt motorcycle, which is 100 times more powerful than the bike they started with 12 years ago. Every time I read that 1.2 mega, I think 1.2 gigawatts. But they debuted their custom built electric drag motorcycle at the they call it the Silver Lining, and they debuted it last week at an event at the Santa Pod Raceway in Bedfordshire, England, and they called the event the Not the Eurofinals. It was kind of an exhibition thing. The team had hoped that they were going to break the world record for the fastest quarter mile run on an electric motorcycle. That record was 6.94 seconds for a quarter mile. That record has stood for 8 years. It was set in 2012 by a guy by the name of Larry McBride. The event, or I don't know whatever the regulating agency for this said that the team, True Cousins, was going to get 9 runs to see if they could break this record. They did it in front of a crowd of about 5,000 spectators, and the only reason it was only 5,000 is because they had COVID restrictions, so they couldn't get everybody there. I'm sorry, they couldn't fit all the seats, but they did all 9 runs, and it took them to the 7th run to break the record. But they finally did break the record. Rider Hans Henrik Thompson crossed the line in a time of 6.87 seconds for a quarter mile. Top speed of 307 kilometers an hour, which is about 191 miles an hour. And his 0 to 60 time was 0.9 seconds. So it's just incredible, man. But then, so he had 2 runs left. They tried to push the bike a little bit further, and they dialed it up a little too far. It was causing a lot of wheel spin. So the last run, on the 9th run, they dialed it back just a little bit, and they decreased the tire pressure just a little bit to get more rubber on the track. And those few little tweaks that they did was exactly what they needed, because they set the record again at 6.86 seconds for a quarter mile. So just legitimately hauling ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break from you guys watching me. I'm going to run a video here. This is the world record run of 6.86 seconds. So we'll let that go.
Absolutely fantastic. So, first up though, we've got Hans Henrik with the electric bike. Now, goodness me, the performances on this machine have been absolutely staggering. 4.37 to the 8th, 6.878 at 191.4 miles an hour at the stripe. That is a new world record.
Must have been a hell of a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. But can he lower that record even further?
Now he's moved it over slightly towards the middle. That's because he blazed the tyre by being just that little bit too far out the groove. I mean, that's one thing I was saying to you before, Cole, that some cars and bikes, a sticky racetrack's fantastic because they need the traction, but there's quite a few that it slows them down because it's, it's resistance, and that's what Hans Henrik had before. So he went 6.87. Can he back up his own world record number? We're about to find out. We're all obviously very appreciative of the fact he's come over here from Denmark. Here we go once again. Get himself set.
You there?
109 to 60 foot. This could well be another 6-second pass. It is 6.86. Look at the speed as well. 195 miles an hour, quicker than he ran before, and backs it up perfectly. 109 to 60, 439 at 160 miles an hour to the 8th. Congratulations to the whole team. That is the new record.
Sorry. So there you have it. That's the world record run. I'm gonna. I found somebody here. I'm gonna bring him in. Let me see if this works. Let me know if you guys can hear the 1-3. 1-3, say something.
Hey, I'm here.
There he is. All right. Yeah. So I don't know if you were able to see it, but I played a video of an electric bike running the world record quarter mile. 6.86 seconds.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous. You know
So
what's kind of funny is I'm listening to myself in a delay, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, don't do that. You'll end up stuttering yourself. Yeah. So if everybody could just let me know if you guys if 1-3's voice, because every time we try and do something with Skype, something doesn't work. So I just want to make sure everything's going. Hey Sam, what's up? Yeah, 1-3 did make it. Check him out. He's only a half an hour late. So
I'm trying to turn myself off because I can hear myself and you in like delay, and it's killing me.
Did you get it turned? You get it turned off?
I got.
Right, great,
hold
thanks,
on
guys.
1 second. Yeah, I got to turn this off. I can't find it. Just bear with me 1 second.
All right. In the meantime, while he's trying to figure that out, so Yeah, that run is insane. HD saying all Harley drags next week at Orlando Speed World. That's awesome, man. Hey, HD, this story was for you, brother. I figured you'd get a kick out of this. You probably already knew it, coming from the drag world, but yeah, I thought excuse me, a 6.8 second quarter mile is absolutely insane. On a motorcycle, nonetheless. On a motorcycle, nonetheless. Jewish Standard Time from Sam. That's hilarious. So kudos to the True Racing team and Hans Henrik Thompson for setting the world record. The crazy part is they broke an 8-year-old record. I'm sure this will sit for a little bit, but somebody will build a bigger, faster, meaner bike and will break that record eventually too. So you got to wonder if there's got to be a limit, right? There's got to be a spot where technology can't get you any faster,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, so there's got to be a wall that eventually you hit that technology, it doesn't matter what you do. So there's got to be a. You got to mute that.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying so hard. I am technically challenged. Y'all know this, right? Okay. Talk to me, Kevin.
Are you good now?
I think so. This is crazy.
All right. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a little transition now. We're gonna talk about why you're late, and I use that term loosely. I'm giving the 1-3 a hard time, but we all want to know why the 1-3 is late. How? Oh, I gotta add him here too. Why the 1-3 is late? How he got here? All the other stuff. Let's talk about it.
All right. Well,
I don't know why
it all happened. It started yesterday. For some reason, on my bike, the voltage regulator, whatever, I saw an engine light and a battery light come on my Harley. I said, oh, crap. I looked over at my voltmeter, and it's down to 11 volts. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm thinking, okay, well, my voltage regulator is probably going out. I'll buy one and put it in this weekend. Not a big deal.
Right.
No problem. We can take care of this. Yeah. So get to work this morning, go to leave work. I literally got a half a mile away from the job, and the bike shut down. And when I say shut down, it shut down hard. I mean, bam, nothing. When I left, I had 12 volts, because I said, well, let me see, make sure no engine light, no battery light, nothing.
Right.
Took off, and it shut down. It was crazy. And I know I put this post on there while I was drinking a beer and having my dinner, and I was trying to be a little lighthearted about it, but here I am. I waited 2 hours. Good thing you didn't come over because I got here after 7.
No, I knew. Like when you said that you were broke down and you were getting a tow truck out to you and it hadn't come out to you yet, I was like, "There's no way you're gonna make it home in time." There's no way. I mean, we all know, tow companies are hit or miss. Okay, we all know this. We're going to talk about tow companies here in a minute, but we all know that they're hit or miss, and we all know that there's only so many vehicles, there's only so many trucks that they can have. They can't be everywhere all at once. So you're going to get the guy that's closest to you, but he's doing a call somewhere. You know what I mean? So I've never had a situation where I called a tow truck and he was like, "I'm 10 minutes away. I'll be there in 10 minutes." Like, it's never been. It's usually, it's usually way longer than that. So,
well, I want to give a shout out to Lisa at Noto, because that's who we're obviously talking about. Noto.
Yep.
They came and they saved my ass. That's what they did.
Put them up on the screen.
This is what they do. They tow motorcycles, and let me tell you, that truck, the pickup truck with the lift and all that, I was like, man, this is like high tech shit. It's crazy, man. Yeah, and they're specific, I mean, they're motorcycle only. They don't tow cars with the Noto. They have another company, I believe it's Elvis Towing.
Yeah, Elvis Towing and Transport.
Elvis Towing and Transport, and these guys are phenomenal. Aaron was the guy that picked me up. Just so happened to be Lisa's husband. Lisa is the dispatcher. She called me back after I was talking to her. I also want to give a shout out to Marcin, the owner. He amazing guy. We met him at Battle of the Bands.
Yep.
You remember on stage?
Yep.
Yeah, he came over and he says, "Hey guys, anything you need, man, give me a call."
He had no idea it was going to be that soon.
No, I had no idea it was going to be that soon. It was crazy.
But yeah, so like the 1-3 saying, thank you to Marcin and Stephanie Johnson at Noto. You guys are awesome, man. Just to kind of, I'm going to throw a quick commercial for them, and then we'll go back to talking about what's going on.
Awesome.
But they're the first motorcycle towing specialists in the greater Tampa Bay area. They've been in business and in the community since 2001. They have the largest independent fleet of motorcycle towing and transport trucks in the state of Florida, and they're specifically designed to transport motorcycles damage-free. They are on call and ready to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, no matter what's going on and no matter your circumstances. So please, 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 if you ever need anything, if your bike is down, need it towed, please give our friends at Noto a call at toll-free 1-855-566-9869. And if you need your car, truck, anything other than a motorcycle towed, they also own Elvis Towing. You can give them a call at 727-323-3500. We'll throw a post up onto our page. I'll let the 1-3 take care of that, so he can thank all the people that were involved in getting him home tonight.
Yes.
But yeah, we wanted to reach out to Marcin and Stephanie Johnson and the crew over at Noto for getting our boy the 1-3 back safe and sound. And
it was awesome. Great experience.
Got a ding on his motorcycle, so.
Nah, man, great experience. I mean, most of us, because I've been towed before. I've had flats on my bike. My wife had flats on her bike. And it's hell to get a trailer and try to get someone out there. Reasonably priced. It wasn't that didn't hurt the wallet so much. It's a great job. Very professional. Aaron, he was. I felt bad for the guy because he had a call at Fletcher and 75, and then. He had his next call was out in St. Pete. So he was in St. Pete when I called for him.
Oh, man.
You know where he lives?
Where's that?
St. Pete.
St. Pete? That sucks.
I said, man, I know that feeling, because when I was a service plumber, my last call for some reason was in St. Pete, and I live here in Wesley Chapel.
Oh yeah, so. It's the way it is, right? It's always in the opposite direction of the way you need to go. You're never going home.
Absolutely.
Before we keep going here, I just wanted to go back to some comments here. Matt Lucier, he says, you remember we were talking about the technology wall, and you get to a certain point where you can't get any faster on these machines, right?
Right.
Matt's saying, it's called grip strength. I would have to agree with you on that one, man. Eventually, you're just gonna get ripped off the bike, right? And then everybody, Noto rocks, Noto. Yeah, Sam, I'm with you right there. Sam says AAA, baby.
That's the first thing that Alvie said to me.
Yeah,
he says, "You got AAA, right?" And I'm like, "No, my insurance said we're not getting into that. Okay, we'll leave that alone right now.
Listen,
because smoke will come out of my ears."
Listen, Linda, listen. So the this is no joke. I'm gonna put this out there. This is a little PSA for AAA, but I'm also gonna put some knowledge out there because I got caught with my pants down on this one. So first of all, love AAA. We've had AAA forever. I owe them. It's well worth the money. Well worth the money, right? But I will say this. If you have AAA and you own a motorcycle, make sure that you have put the motorcycle rider on your AAA. Because if you do not, you will be like me and you'll be stuck out in the middle of nowhere on your motorcycle, and you're going to call AAA and they're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, you don't have the motorcycle rider on your AAA, we can add it for you, but you won't be able to use the service for 48 hours. So yeah, that happened to me a while back. I think we talked about it on the show it was 2 years ago. It was before I got my Harley. It was my old Cowie was on a
the one that
poker
broke
run.
down on that ride.
Yeah, was on a poker run. The bike broke down, and then I called a tow company. Obviously, it was not No Tow because we didn't know the fine folks at No Tow yet. But I got some ridiculous quote of $400 and something to move me from basically from Newport Richey to Wesley Chapel, and they wanted almost $400 for it. So what I'm getting at here is if you do have AAA, double check, make sure you have the motorcycle rider on it because they will not tow a motorcycle if you do not have it. I don't understand it. It should just be, whatever. But yeah, so AAA is only good for your cars, trucks, that stuff. If you have a motorcycle, you need a motorcycle one, and if you have an RV, you need the RV one as well. So just to let you know.
See, that's ridiculous, man.
I thought so too, but however, like I said, worth its weight in gold. Don't leave home without it.
Yeah,
do not rely on your insurance company to do it, and don't rely on the dealerships to do it. Get your own.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's one of the things I did because I called Harley because my bike is under warranty, and that's another story. I'll get into that if you want me to. It's really quick.
What was that?
I said I got another story about my motorcycle because I bought the extended warranty. I bought a 4-year bumper to bumper warranty on my bike when I bought the bike.
Okay.
Hey, it's a used bike. You're going to buy a warranty, right?
Sure.
So the guy tells me on the phone, he says, I'm sorry, sir. No, the only thing you have is road hazard. I'm like, dude, I declined the road hazard. So if they did that, they switched it. I said, no. I said, I bought a 4-year warranty. He says, well, I'll get back with you. Calls me back about a half hour, 45 minutes later, says, oh, yeah, no, you have full coverage, and it's for 4 years. He says, someone did a typo and took your VIN number by one number and moved it.
Oh, wow.
One number was off.
Uh-huh.
So in their system, I only had road hazard. And I was like, okay, well, if I knew I had road hazard, I would have used that because I had a flat.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I needed to get new wheels, man.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So anyway, I called Harley, like I said, and I said, all right, well, I got full coverage. Come pick this up right now. Bring it to your shop. He goes, dude, the first available time I have to pick your bike up is Monday. I said, excuse me? He says, yeah. He says, you can tow it to me if you want. I'm like, no. I said, I'll tow it home. You guys can come pick it up at my house on Monday. I said, will this be covered? He goes, well, we got to go through it. And I'm like, it's electronic. It's stator or rectifier or something. He goes, it should be. I said, okay, we'll see what happens.
You got to love dealerships, man.
Oh, well, you know what? It's a Harley. What do they say? HD, high dollar.
High dollar, baby. All right, so going through some comments here. We've got Valerie saying that you guys are on 3 radio stations with our commercial starting 10:10 to 10:18. That is awesome. That's so cool to hear. And for those of you who are unaware what Valerie's talking about there, we're talking about the event that's going on at Adamak Harley Davidson. We're kind of doing it's kind of like a 2-prong, 3-prong approach going on. We've got Eric Warren Artistry and Rockling Road Show will be holding down the fort up at Adamak Harley Davidson in St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, yep.
Dale and Cat Show will be down in let's just say Miami. Jeez. Dale and Cat Show will be down at Daytona. I believe they're at Boot Hill Saloon.
Yep.
They're going to be doing a show from there, and then you've got Kenny Wilkerson and Nova Rex are going to be playing down there as well. So between all three of those spots, you guys got all kinds of fun stuff to be doing for Daytona Biketoberfest. So definitely go and have some fun with that. Kim's saying that she took care of that right away with the AAA thing, and she totally did, because I was as red as the flag over here in the 1-3's house, the 1-3 bar, because I'm like, yeah, great, add the motorcycle thing, but I can't use it. Like what like I use choice words. Let's just put it that way. I'm like, yeah, what is that going to do for me in the present time? Because right now it means absolutely nothing. So
look at Jen. Jen's like, the Eric Warren? Oh my gosh.
The Eric Warren, yes, ma'am. And then Sam saying, wait, Boot Hill win. Yeah, that's the next weekend, Sam. Biketoberfest. They're not doing vendors in Main Street. They're not doing any of that stuff. But the bars and everything downtown Daytona will still be operational, still be running. So Boot Hill Saloon in Daytona. And I hope I'm right. Please, Val or Connie, if I'm incorrect about where Dale and Kat are going to be, please let me know so we get that right before we close the show out.
Right. Yes, Connie, we are rising to the top.
like cream, we rise to the top. Hey, so before we jump into events and close the show out, I wanted to talk to you specifically, 1-3, about Eddie Van Halen.
Oh man!
So I just did a whole probably 20, 30 minutes about Eddie and his history and how he came in, how he became Eddie Van Halen that we all know today. But basically, what I wanted from you was what are your memories of Van Halen and Eddie Van Halen? Because I know you're a super big Sammy Hagar fan. So I was saying how I like Van Halen, I like Van Hagar. They're obviously two different bands in every which way. But what are your thoughts?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. They are two separate bands. They are not Van Halen. It's Van Halen and Van Hagar. It is. I'm trying to think. Sammy Hagar to me the Red Rocker has always been, an amazing artist. Eddie Van Halen and the band Van Halen. Back to 1979? What was it when Van Halen 1 came out? Running with the Devil, the first song on that album. I was like, I was floored. I was like, oh my gosh, that became my theme song. I was 9th or 10th grade, somewhere around there, and you know what? I did. I kind of lived that life. I don't have to beg or borrow.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, that summed me up the way I was, man. I did what I had to do to survive it. It was what it is. But the second song is Eruption, and I was like, just blown away. How does he do that? How does he do that? The finger, the hammering, and I was like, I wanted to learn guitar because of that, and I never did. I mean, I think every young kid, every teenager, when they heard Eddie Van Halen play, they're like, how does he do that? And Alex told him, I remember this in an interview, Alex told him one time, hey, when you do that song, when you do your Eruption, you need to turn your back to the audience and the cameras so they can't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, because people would steal it. They would take his things. But they would never get the sound they could get from Frankenstein. It's just, or Frankenstrat, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Just, I got to tell you, man, honestly, I didn't know the guy personally. I never knew, but my eyes leaked a little bit when I heard, because he was an icon, an idol. I mean, he was someone I looked up to, even though I don't play guitar, but the music. Mm-hmm. The music just moved me, man. I loved it.
I made a statement earlier, but it's sad and shocking that here we are, a few months removed from losing Neil Peart, and here we are.
Oh my God.
And here we are talking about another icon that has left the surly bonds of this earth, to steal Reagan's statement. But
these are two of the best musicians that of our era. You know, I'm going to say it, of our era.
Virtuosos, man. Virtuosos.
There will never be another Neil Peart.
No.
There will never be another Eddie Van Halen. There will never be another Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth. You know, I mean, you can name all these people. Jimi Hendrix, for God's sake. I mean, all these people. And if you look at our music and how these people have changed the way the music is or was to today's artists, I mean, it's like they're all sampling our era artists. Every one of them are sampling music from our artists. It's like, because they don't have, can't say they don't have, maybe they don't have I'm sure some of them have the talent to do it, but they don't take that talent and run with it in their own direction.
Well, it's just it's also, it's also a vision thing. It's also a music theory type situation. It's just being able to I was saying earlier, being able to look at the guitar and become the guitar, become the drums. We talk about, Eddie Van Halen was a guitar player, but he transcended guitar player, right? You have guitar players, and then you have, Eddie Van Halen. You have Sam saying here, Randy Rhoads, Stevie Ray. I mean, these are all icons in music. These are all phenomenal guitar players. You brought up Hendrix. I brought him up earlier when I was talking about him. These are people who rise above that guitar player line. There's a few of them. There's a few of them out there, and there's a few of them in modern day bands. But some of those, there's just something about some of those guys that they just transcend that to that next level. They go to that, they leave that plateau that most people stand on. That are, you look up as a young kid who wants to play guitar, and you're like, man, that guy could really play the guitar. And then you look at Eddie Van Halen and you go, I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, you brought something up a second ago that I thought was very interesting. You mentioned music theory.
Yeah.
Now you know how my brain works. Okay, that every now and then I have these little. What happened? What was I talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This is something I remembered. Another interview with Eddie. He was talking with someone. I think it was Kurt Loder or something from MTV.
Yeah.
They were doing a tour through his studio, and it was so long ago that Wolfgang was like in first grade. Okay, that's how long ago this was. Wolfgang was in music class, and he just decided to do some experimenting on his own, just kind of just jamming, change the song around a little bit, right? And he got a bad remark from the teacher, and the teacher called Eddie, and Eddie says, no. I don't want my child to learn like that. It's all music theory. It's theory. This is how it goes. And then you take it from there and you go beyond and you make it better. And that's exactly what Eddie Van Halen did with his music. He never had music lessons. He didn't have any music. He doesn't even know notes. He just
he couldn't read music, but he did play piano.
Right, but he didn't learn notes.
No, he didn't. He didn't learn how to read music. You're right.
Right, he did not know. He just knew how to play the piano. And I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but do you know originally that Eddie Van Halen was the drummer, and Alex was actually the guitarist?
Yeah, I brought that up because I didn't actually. Yeah. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that until I started looking this stuff up, and yeah, that's to me that's crazy to hear that, because who would have thought, right? Because Alex is a hell of a drummer too. Let's be realistic. he's not just a drummer. I watched a video the other night, and it was somebody trying to duplicate Alex Van Halen's drum solo in Hot for Teacher, the opening solo in Hot for Teacher, right? And the guy that was doing this video is an accomplished drummer. He's a very good drummer. Right. It took him three different audio tracks to record it, to make it sound like the studio recording that Alex laid down when he did it. Three different audio tracks to do it. And the guy's a good drummer. Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, you know, those two dudes, man, they're just on a different level. But
they are. It's freaking crazy, man. And you know, the loss is a huge loss worldwide around, you know, around the music industry, around even, you know, guys our age. I mean, 65 years old.
Yeah.
You know, he's all right. Swap my numbers. I'm 56. You know, so I mean, 65, man. That's 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I was talking about earlier. He definitely, you know, he definitely rode hard. He didn't, you know, he didn't take any breaks. But
no, and you know what? And I gotta say this, and you know, I know he never blamed the cigarettes. Okay, even though the reason he smoked and the reason he drank and went through, you know, so many bouts with alcoholism and this and that was because of his father, his dad. He asked his dad. He said because his dad was a world-renowned musician as well, kind of like I think he was classical or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he asked his dad, "How do you go in front of so many people and not be nervous?" His dad handed him a drink and a cigarette. He says, once he started that, he was calm. He says some shows he was so hammered he doesn't remember the show. It was crazy.
That's insane. That's insane.
But yes. Now Sam is going to the direction that I was going to go. He did. He blamed the metal picks that
for his tongue cancer. Yeah.
Yes, because it was right here on this side, and that's exactly where it was.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, you know, hey, look, you know, maybe it was a combination of both.
Well, I mean, you know, cancer, like Sam said, right? Cancer sucks, man. It does. It is what it is, and you know, unfortunately, we lose way too many people, you know, because of that, and it's unfortunate. It really is. So a correction here from Valerie. Thank you, Val. So the Dale and Cat show is going to be at the Outpost across from Iron Horse up in Ormond Beach. And Nova Rex is going to be there Friday and Saturday night. So across the street from Iron Horse, go check out our good friends Dale and Cat from the Dale Cat Show, as well as Kenny Wilkerson and his band Nova Rex playing over there at the Outpost across from Iron Horse Saloon.
You know, I might get a chance to go down there and see them because we're spending a weekend up there, and our event pretty much ends at 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
There you go.
So we might have a chance to run down and check things out.
See everybody. Be pretty cool. And then, of course, HD is reminding us that the AHDRA next weekend in the Orlando Speed World. So if you guys aren't going to hang out in the Daytona area or the St. Augustine area, some awesome drag racing going on at the Orlando Speed World. So go check that out as well. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? I think that's kind of most of them. So, all right. Let's jump into events, and we'll call it a night. Yeah. We're a little over, maybe. So just a little bit. But here, let's jump into events, and you got the info.
I'm bringing it up, actually. You got to give me a minute.
All right, I'll start. I'll do the first one. You can catch up. So, first event is, you know what? This Saturday. Veterans for a Cause Dice Run. That's going to be this Saturday. Registration's at 10 a.m. Kickstands up at 11 a.m. $10 a person. All proceeds are going to go benefit a local veteran in need. It's going to start at the AmVets number 9 up there in Odessa. A couple spots, the Rocket Tiki Hut, Classics Bar and Grill, Rebar, and the Sail Inn. If you need any more information, give them a call at 813-506-1130. And again, like I said, all proceeds are going to benefit a local veteran. All vehicles are welcome in this. This is just a really cool event. It's a little bit different than most of the stuff that we do. Because we're always doing poker runs, but this is a dice run. We had a lot of fun doing this a few months ago, or I shouldn't even say a few months ago. It seemed like a year ago, really. Just a killer time. So, so if you're in the area this weekend, there's that going on. There is also a There's an event going on at Bert's Barracuda this weekend as well. It's the Big Boy Toy Show or something like that. But that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Big Boy Toys.
So you guys can go check that out as well. Before you jump
know,
to the next one, Civil said, sorry, missed the show. Flat on my back with a healing pad. No bueno. Hopefully your back is better, Civil. That sucks. I know your pain. I was there a couple of days ago with my neck. Connie, we'll get to that in a second. Yep, we'll jump on that event here in a sec. And before you jump on this next one too, I want to also say, don't forget the Biketoberfest events going on. There's stuff going on all over the place out there in Volusia County. So please go check it out. We are going to be, I say we, let me rewind and because I don't think the 1-3 knows this yet, but so next week's show, there's not going to be a show on Thursday. I'm going to tell everybody that now. I will be in South Florida for a funeral. So I am not going to be available this weekend. And we're heading down Thursday after Kim gets off the work. So we're doing an event. I say we, but we're doing an event at Adamak Harley Davidson, St. Augustine, Florida. Eric Warren Artistry and Dropkick Customs are going to be up there. They're going to be debuting a lot of really cool stuff. And they've asked us to join them. So the 1-3 is going to pack the show. And he's going to bring it out to the fine folks over there at Adamak and St. Augustine. And we've got I've got some new equipment that we're going to have to test out before the 1-3 takes off and before I leave. But I think we've got enough. I think we've got the equipment set up to where we can do basically what we're doing here today. The 1-3 will stream. The 1-3 will Skype to me here at at the compound, so to speak, and we'll figure out a way to make it work to where we have a show between the two of us at least once this weekend, and then you are going to have a whole bunch of people around you to kind of. There
is going to be Eric Warren. Hopefully I can get him to sit in with me for a little while. Maybe Matt Cartier. Maybe I can even get Nikki to sit down with me. I will tell you that I have Skyview Drone Photography coming out with me for the weekend. They are going to be there taking videos, pictures, and also, just doing sights of St. Augustine. They will sit with us and be on the show. I'll have my bride with me, so we'll have something covered. We'll do something and make it work. We're
gonna make it work. But yeah, I just to let you know too, I did get the cord came in today, and I got some headphones, and then I've got another piece that I'm waiting on that should be here tomorrow. That's supposed to help with interference and lag. So hopefully it all works. We're gonna have to test it sometime next week. We'll figure it out. But
I needed to ask you this, and since we're on live and we're doing this right now, I spoke with Eric Warren today because I was trying to get a trailer to come help me out.
Yeah.
And he has this event going on at Bert's, and he asked if the Rockling Road Show can be there sometime this weekend because he has plenty of room for us to set up the tent.
Yeah.
So if you figure you can make it, one day this weekend would be a good thing.
Yeah, we'll figure something out with that as well. So,
all right.
But yeah, I did want to get all that stuff out. So, the 1-3 will take the show on the road, and
it's Rockling Road Show.
That's right, and we'll do a show from Adamak Harley Davidson up there in in St. Augustine. All right, you got. Oh no, we're gonna go back here for a second. Hold on. You've got the next one, so go ahead.
Well, did you say Reverend Jim's? Because
I haven't got there yet. Nope.
So that's where we're next. Reverend Jim's, and I'm sorry, I'm going to look up because I got to read here.
You're good.
Reverend Jim's Speakeasy Bike Show. It's Saturday, November 1st at 12 p.m. The bikes. Why is it new? Why do you have it two times? I don't know. Anyway, Reverend Jim's is at 13800 US 19 North Clearwater. And we did find that is an event. What is that? I mean, a venue. What is that venue?
It is a venue, but it's not a traditional venue. So it's like I don't know. It's like a tow company or something like. It's really strange.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay, I see. You just deleted it. Awesome. So there will be live music, great food, cold beer, which is absolutely outstanding because we need that on a hot day. There is an 11-class bike show judged by the exhibitors. All proceeds are benefiting Racing for Orphans, which is a 501c3, and the children of the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches, and that's Wayne Woodsack's thing that he does. He takes care of. He's always with that charity, and he's very big on it. And he he rides with the Pharaoh Riders, which is the Shriners and stuff. And an amazing guy. The guy's amazing. He does so much for the community. For event details, contact Reverend Jim at jim502@gmail.com or text him at 727-504-3138. The next one, you got it?
Yeah, next one is the Old School Biker Rodeo, and this is what I was alluding to with Connie. Connie is we're still looking for sponsors for the Old School Biker Rodeo. Their funds have been depleted because of COVID. They haven't been able to do any benefits, and she's talking about the Veteran Enhancement Group, which is the beneficiary of this event. This is going on November 7th, 12 to 6. American Legion Post 335 in Newport Richey. Old School Biker Rodeo games to include the slow race, the barrel race, needle in the haystack, and the cone race. There's going to be prizes of 50-50, gift basket raffles, as well as food, drinks, and music performed by our good friends and winners of Battle of Bands 3-foot offset.
Yeah, man. The proceeds are to benefit the Veterans Enhancement Project. It's a really cool organization. They teach veterans how to work on motorcycles, and if they can, they send them to a trade school or something, to help them. If a veteran has a motorcycle and he needs it worked on, they help pay for that repair if the veteran cannot afford to repair it. They also, this is really cool, they also help them out by training them to work on their own bikes side by side with the mechanics. Now, that's pretty damn cool. I just think that's neat. And they assist veterans with battlefield-inflicted handicap to be able to ride again. They can't afford the modifications to their bikes. They want to ride, but they need a special, thing like maybe a left-hand throttle or something. I've seen that actually. It's pretty cool. The event sponsors are Fran Hosh Law Group, Rider Now Magazine, Let's Ride Motorcycle Gear and Accessories, the Rockling Road Show, and Connie, right? Constance After Dark.
Yeah, so if you guys know of any sponsors, or you're a sponsor yourself, or you can put this in front of somebody, please do that. Give Connie a PM, let her know how they can get in touch with each other. Of course, you can see her comments thread there. You can get to her page to do that. But Connie Lackey, or you can go to facebook.com/Constance After Dark, and that'll get to her as well. So that's it, man. Glad you were able to make it. Sucks about your bike, but I know you get it figured out and working again. We all know how much of, especially, I know how much of a pain in the ass the electrical system gremlins are on a motorcycle.
Yeah. I need to shout out to Connie, because Connie is not even, she's not even in Florida, and she's up in Pennsylvania on vacation. She takes the time out to watch the shows and to contribite, if you will, which is really cool. And I really appreciate you saying that I got this. I'm going to do the best I can.
Oh, you're going to be fine, dude. You're going to be totally fine. I know you are. You don't give yourself enough credit. You'll be good, brother. I know you will. I will say one thing, and the one thing I will say is you're going to get a crash course in how to set all this crap up, and I hope that you can remember how to set it all up when you go up there by yourself, because
we're
it
gonna
is
video
an
it.
epic pain in the ass. But I think you can figure it out, man. You're gonna be good to go. And yeah, so with that, guys, stay tuned because, as I said, these are coming. We've got some work going on with that, but as soon as all that stuff is fixed and ready to go, we're gonna launch the Rockling Road Show store. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, man, rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. You will be missed, man. Come hang out with the 1-3 up there at Adamak Harley Davidson, man. He's gonna need all the love he can get up there. So
Wait, you just said I got this, and now you're gonna say I need all the love.
you need the love, man. You need the love. There's nothing wrong. You're gonna be fine, but you still need people there to chat with and talk with and
Yes.
pull up and bring on, like we did at the expo. You know how to do this stuff, man. You know how to do this stuff, and you're a king of gab, so you'll be able to pull people aside and go, "Hey, come here, sit down.
Come here, let me bend your ear. What
Let's
was I
have a
talking
conversation." So, all right. So we've gone over. Dale and Kat are probably yelling and screaming at us. So,
Hey, get off my show.
yeah. So with that, man, remember, no show Thursday. There will not be a show Thursday. I'll find something and I'll throw an old show up there, or we'll put something in its place. But there will be a show probably Saturday sometime. So be on the lookout for that. What do you got?
I was gonna say 3 Foot Offset interview. They battled the band winner.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll figure something out and throw a show on for next Thursday so everybody can watch a show at least.
There you go.
It'll be an old. I think what we'll do is we'll pull an old one out of the vault.
Out of the archives.
Yeah, just because we have so many new folks that have joined us, so I think pulling an old show out might be worth.
There you go.
I'm thinking a little CVMA Super Dave situation, because that was a fun show. That one actually went pretty well. So.
Oh yeah, it did.
Huh?
I said, oh yeah, it did. That was a good one.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
I think he was nervous, man.
Yeah. But other than that, man, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for keeping me company until Bobby was able to show up. I really do appreciate it. Helps me kind of get the show going. Like I said, HD, you got stuff on your way or on its way. I will.
Yeah, I sent it out finally. I'm glad you appreciate it.
As soon as the show is over, I'll send you all the tracking information so you can track that out. So
yeah.
All right.
I'm not bringing the bike. I'm bringing the Subaru.
The Scooby Doo. All right. I got nothing. You got anything?
Yeah, man. Keep the rubber side down, baby.
You guys keep it rocking. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.